Hello, my name is Amber Williams, owner of Prosperity Solutions, author of the book Make an Excuse to Succeed. And I just wanted to take time out. Hopefully, this content can be helpful to everyone out there that's thinking about being an entrepreneur and owning your own business. And I know a lot of times, a lot of people I talk to think that being an entrepreneur automatically means quitting your job or just stop doing what you're doing. And that's nothing further from the truth, because me, myself, I still work a 40-hour job and I still have a very successful business as well. So you can do both. So just because you may have different aspirations for a business as far as owning a restaurant or owning your own beauty salon or owning a pet store, whatever the case may be, but it may be a large-scale business, and I think a lot of people don't realize you need to just learn business strategy and business mindset first. And it may not be a good idea to just start off on a large scale at the beginning. I think sometimes it's important to start off with something small and simple, learn a mindset, learn a hustle, learn all the intent and effort that's involved for a couple of years. And then after that, you're ready to take on something bigger for a bigger bite. But I think I would say if you don't have a lot of business acumen experience, if you don't have a lot of financial experience, I think it's better to start off with something a little more cheaper with a little less risk tolerance. In case in point, I just kind of came up with some certain businesses that you can start for under $500. Okay, so you got the three categories. You got service, expert, and education. Okay, so obviously, I mean, there's a lot of things you can do to start, but I just kind of went over some basic things. So the first thing I started off with is things that's service oriented. Okay, maybe this is your job. Maybe you do web design, as a profession, and maybe you want to do it just on the side. I mean, a lot of people need web design websites. I mean, this is year 2017, so basically everybody and their grandma needs their own website. And if you just have, just small experience in HTML and the different aspects of web design, you could be of great service to people. I mean, you can go on Fiverr and, put your business out there. And not only can you get to people locally, but just all over the place, you can just design websites. And you can charge, $150, $300, $500 to get websites, depending on the complexity of it and the type of format you're using to get that going. So Fiverr, offers a lot of services. You go on there, you can get logo design. You can just photography. You can just get about anything on Fiverr. So if you have a certain expertise in something, whether it's computers, whether it's design, graphic design, editing, I suggest you go on to Fiverr and get registered with them to put your services out there. And another real simple one is lawn cutting. I mean, basically, if you can get you a nice lawnmower for a couple $100. As your weed whacker, leaf blower, and you're good to go. I mean, you got a pickup truck or whatever. You don't even have to have a pickup truck. I started off with a car cutting grass. I would just throw it all in the trunk, strap the trunk down, and just get out there. And, depending on the size of the lawn, you can charge $30-$40 a lawn. I mean, you do 9-10 lawns a day, that's an extra $300-$400 just right there, just cutting grass. I mean, it's not hard to cut grass. It takes a little attention, a little detail. Obviously, people want that curbside appeal to their lawns, and once you get going with it, people are patient. You give people what they want. You give them a nice looking lawn, and they're happy. I mean, you got some people who are a little picky about how they want their lawn to look. For the most part, people just don't want their lawn sky high. They just want to keep it cut. I mean, a lot of single women out here don't want to cut grass, don't know how to cut grass. And that's a good market to get into as far as cutting grass for people. My sister's out there hair braiding. I mean, a lot of you, maybe you were the oldest in the family and you got younger sisters, you were hair braiding since you were 7-8 years old. And that's something that's huge now. I mean, like, not only do black women want their hair braided, white women and all other races of women want their hair braided now, especially now in the summertime, people going on vacations and stuff like that. They want to embrace their inner Bo Derek, I guess, and they want to get their hair braided. That's a huge market because I think for black women, that's kind of like part of the culture. So that's something you can kind of take advantage of. You know, I mean, you can charge up to 150 bucks per head for hair braiding. And I've seen some sisters, they pretty fast for hair braiding. If you can knock them out, you know, in a couple of hours, you can get, you know, a good, you know, 2 to 4 people in the evening after work, you know, of just knocking out some hair braids, and you've made a couple $100 tax free. Don't tell nobody though. Taxes. You can go to H&R Block. I think a lot of their classes are starting up in August, beginning of September, to be a tax preparer. Once you get your license, whatever particular state you in, you can charge a couple $100. Tax season roll around, you know, knock out people's taxes. You charge $150, $200 per person. I mean, you start doing 10, 20 people a day. I mean, that's significant cash. Getting your real estate license, that's fairly cheap. I think all things involved, getting the books, going to class, taking the exam, definitely about maybe $350 to do the whole thing. So that's under 500 bucks. Being a real estate agent, also being a loan originator is the same thing. You know, people need loans for housing. People need homes for investment, for commercial property. So that's another thing that's under $500. Coaching kids, that's another thing people don't realize. A lot of my brothers out there, you used to play professional baseball. Maybe you played in high school, maybe you played in college, maybe you played golf. A lot of parents, you know, they think their kid's the next Tiger Woods, the next Kobe Bryant, the next A-Rod, or whatever the case may be. If you got the basic skills in baseball, football, just anything with coaching, you know, martial arts, whatever the case may be. I mean, this is a huge market now, coaching kids, you know, because a lot of times what happens is a lot of these kids, they're in these little leagues or some of these AAU leagues with basketball, and it's 12 to 15 kids on the team. So if you're not really that standout, you don't get the attention from the coach. So there's only so much time they have to they coach people as a group. And a lot of times kids, they need individual coaching as far as football. They maybe need to learn the fundamentals of carrying a football. Maybe in basketball, they need kind of the technique for shooting, for dribbling, you know, defense, all those things. So if you played in high school, you played on a collegiate level, or maybe you're just good at it, that's definitely a thing you can get into, is coaching kids, man. It's actually a huge market. The next thing is being an expert. Notarizing, fairly inexpensive, under $500, especially downtown Detroit area, downtown Canton, downtown Northville, a lot of areas with a lot of business activities taking place. You can charge, you know, 35 to 50 bucks per notary, and you can make good money doing that as well. Secretarial services, if you have good basic Microsoft Word skills, typing skills. I know I'm not a great typer. I hate typing. I hate dictating, things of that nature. Receptionist, part-time receptionist, things of that nature. If you're in college or if you're just working part-time, secretarial service is good. Maid services is good. Expertise. I mean, there's a lot of families that, a lot of people who, middle-aged couples, you know, that they're both professionals. They don't have time to really get things done at home domestically. That's a good thing to get into as well. Translators, if you're bilingual, if you know Spanish, French, whatever the language may be, you'd be surprised all the money you can make translating, especially with hospitalization services, especially here in the Detroit area. It's so many areas like Hamtramck, Dearborn, in certain parts of Detroit, a lot of Puerto Rican people, Mexican, Russians, you have Romanian people, Slavics, Polish people. If you know any of these languages, American Sign Language, you can work for hospitals, conveying, and they'll pay you large amounts of money just to give the message. You know, if there's a doctor and he has certain patients, he may need someone who knows sign language. He may need someone who knows French or Romanian, or all these different languages to convey what's going on with that patient. So it may be some certifications or disclosures that you may have to go through, but translation is definitely a huge market here, especially here in the Detroit area, because there's so many different languages here. Education, being a tutor, a lot of kids have trouble learning different things. So if you're an expert in math or English or even languages, a lot of kids struggle with learning in class, but just personal tutoring with different subjects helps. We touched on languages, instruments. Maybe maybe you play the guitar, maybe you know how to play the violin or saxophone or drums. People just want to learn how to play different instruments. They want to learn how to play the piano, whatever the case may be. Giving out instrument lessons is always good. Martial arts, boxing, personal training, dancing lessons. There's so many cats out here that's thorough with ballroom dancing and all these different types of dancing. I know a guy here locally, he makes a lot of money just teaching various dances, ballroom and salsa and merengue and tango. He earns a lot of tremendous cash. You need to learn a lot of people. Being a yoga instructor. So all these things really don't cost a lot of money. People teach spin cycling. You can usually rent out different places at these different gyms, usually $30-40 a week. And you can charge each person $10. Some of these people, they get 50 people in their class. You make $500 just one class. Teaching Zumba, being a Zumba instructor. So it's a lot of things you can learn and you can do for under $500 if you have a particular skill, if you have a service to provide, if you're an expert at something, if you have some type of educational skill to teach somebody, maybe a language, or you're good at an instrument, you're good at dancing, or whatever. Don't be afraid to put your talent out there. And oftentimes, like me personally, I started off just cutting grass and shoveling snow for the banks. That's all I did. They paid me to go there to foreclosed homes and just shovel the snow and put salt out and take pictures, and that's all I did. The same with lawn cutting. But what it did for me, it helped me just learn just basic business skills. So now the evolution process, the growth process of me growing just from doing that, now I'm able to take on bigger business ventures. I'm able to take on real estate development projects and business consulting and things of that nature. But I had to start somewhere. Sometimes you don't see the journey, but me just starting off lawn cutting just helped me out tremendously. So these are just some of the things. If you got something in the comments that you want to add that kind of like would help people, I'm going to post this on Facebook and also YouTube. So feel free to comment and throw your 2 cents in on other things that can help people get their business started, and we can kind of get an ecosystem started amongst Black people, because that's something that we really don't have. It's something that we really need to get into. And also, forgot catering too. There's so many of our sisters out here, great cooks, great bakers. There's always events going on, baby showers and wedding showers and anniversaries and birthdays and all these things that take place. And even my brothers too, man. If you're nice on a barbecue grill, doing events, catering events like that as well, that's something that's fairly inexpensive. The only really expense you have is buying the food, getting all the food and all the products that you need to make it, and transport it and getting it there. And people will pay the money. Me personally, if I was having some type of event, people, they may have a bridal shower or something, they may not want to do all the cooking, man. If you throw over chicken wings, and it doesn't take much, spaghetti, those are like the basics that people have. Potato salad, couple cakes, couple pies, and people pretty much good with that, and you can charge considerable amounts for doing it. So we need to use our skills, we need to use our culture and monetize that. It's no sense in other people and other cultures coming in doing what we're doing. They learning how to make sweet potato pies, they learning how to make potato salad, they're learning how to make fried chicken and chicken wings, and they're still in our game and they're monetizing out of it, and we're just sitting here broke, struggling with bills. It just makes no sense. We're just too skilled as a people to not monetize certain things. So let's get on it. Let's start thinking let's start being creative so we can use our tools to help us and benefit us.